This is Roger with iGadget Geek. Today I want to talk about my Galaxy S5 Active from AT&T. This has been customized. I went ahead and rooted it and put exposed framework, and I've got some modules. So what I wanted to do was just kind of show you guys a few of the things I've done to customize my S5 Active. Now, of course, you have your lock screen here. I didn't really change much there other than remove the actual AT&T logo. As you can see, it doesn't say AT&T anywhere. So if you can remember, when it's stock right out of the box, you have that AT&T logo there. I've kind of modified that and removed it. Now here on my drop down, it's virtually untouched. I left it pretty much the same. I have moved my clock to the center, removed the PM, gotten rid of the battery for a circle battery mod with %. So let's go right on in here. So you can see I don't use the TouchWiz launcher. I've actually used titanium backup and frozen a lot of that stock TouchWiz stuff. And I'm actually using Nova Launcher. I personally just like Nova Launcher. I've used it on a lot of my phones. I just really enjoy it. I like the way it does the opening and close of the folders. You can get everything real fast, very responsive. You know, I'm not a real big fan of all these fancy animations. I would rather just have my applications open and closing really fast. So with Nova Launcher and freezing some apps, you can actually go in here and make everything really fast and snappy. So as I mentioned, I have modified my status bar. As you can see, I've moved my clock to the center. I've removed the AT&T. And right here you have your battery, which is the circle battery with the %. You pull this down and I have a automatic brightness setting that gives it +5. So what that does is it makes it brighter at all settings. And other than that, I really haven't modified any of these shortcuts or anything. So what I want to do now is we'll go ahead and dive on in and I'll show you the settings that I use. So as I am showing you here, I have my Galaxy gear set up, and then I'm actually using the WAM exposed. So if you go in here to WAM exposed after you install the exposed framework, so to do that, after you've rooted it, and if you want to know how to root it, head on over to XDA. There's some great threads there in the Galaxy S5 thread on how to root the Galaxy S5 for AT&T, and this AT&T S5 Active is the same way. So as you can see, I actually have my exposed installer, and then you go through that and it'll actually take you through everything to actually install your first you have to install your framework, make sure you've done that, rebooted the phone, and then any modules you want to use, make sure those are installed and activated, and you may have to reboot your phone. Once you do that, you have all of these fantastic settings on WAM exposed. You have your notification panel, just tons of different things. Clock size, clock position, hide battery icon, just almost an endless amount of customization right out of the box with this WAM exposed. So it's right there. That's how I have mine set up. Now, a lot of people are having issues with the S5 Active when they first root it and start uninstalling applications. Personally, since there is no real easy way to recover from modifications to this phone, I do not recommend deleting any applications. What I would recommend you do is go get Titanium Backup, the paid version. It's definitely worth the few dollars it takes to do the upgrade and get the paid licensed version. It's going to give you a lot more control and power. So basically, once you do that, as you can see, it's checking license. Let's go ahead and let it open. It's been granted, so you can see everything's been granted. It's been granted root access. It's checked my license. We're good. So right here is all of my applications installed on the phone. Now I like to just use Titanium Backup and just freeze applications. So as you can see, here are all the applications I've frozen. Here's the AT&T Family Map, AT&T, all of those AT&T applications are frozen, including the AT&T Software Updater. Now we'll keep scrolling down. I've frozen Beats Music because I personally don't use Beats Music. If you use it, you can leave it don't freeze it. I don't use it. So as you can see, I've gone through a lot of these things that I don't use. I just freeze them. Now I don't uninstall them because once you do that, there's no easy way to recover them since we don't have any custom recovery or anything like that. We're still working on a locked bootloader. So right there's chat on. I don't use that, so I've frozen it. Now if you come on down here, there's another device help. I don't use it. There's my drive mode. I don't use that, so I froze it. And we'll go down. There's Flipboard. I went ahead and froze that because I don't use it. We'll keep going. There's lots of applications installed. I went ahead and froze Kids Mode because there again I don't use it. And I froze all of these knock settings. Now, this launcher 1.0, do not freeze this if you want to use the ultimate saver mode where it takes the screen and turns it to that black and white mode and does all that crazy settings. This is the actual piece of software that does that. Now, some people have gone through here and they went a little crazy and deleted a bunch of applications, and then their phone gets stuck in a boot loop and they've got a brick device. So if you use that ultimate saver option, do not delete or modify that launcher 1.0 in any way. Now, I don't use lockout, so I went ahead and froze that. There again, mobile TV, froze that. My Magazine, don't use it. It's a fantastic application. I personally do not use it. Now, I do use my AT&T. As you can see, I left it unfroze. Right here, I don't use live wallpaper. I don't use Polaris Office, so I went ahead and froze those. We'll come on down here, keep going. I've got a few more, I think, that I froze. Right there, I now TouchWiz Easy and TouchWiz Home. I froze both of those because I don't use the TouchWiz launcher. So that's pretty much all of my applications, Yellow Page. And those are the applications that I freeze on my S5 Active. So that's just been kind of a quick little demonstration of how I have my personal S5 Active set up with root and exposed framework and WAM modular. So this has been my introduction to my S5, and this has been Roger with iGadget Geek.